Those dogs, man. Those dogs. Heckin' Borkers. I should go check on them. Get inside. Get inside. I can kind of see you right there. I'll come back to that later. Yep. Okay. Okay. Oh, God, is my No, my controllers. God damn it. These things really dead already? No. Switching out the Joy-Cons. Well, hello guys, and what's up? And hey, it has been a long time. I think the last stream we did was October. I think it was October. Let's see, do I have my notes? I keep notes for this show for a reason. That's episode 24. Episode 23 was October 14th. We did not do a show in November. We did not get a show out before the Game Awards with my predictions for the Game Awards. And now we're doing this one, which is post-Game Awards. There are so many items on this list. BlizzCon is on this list. Pokemon news. Pokemon hadn't released when I started planning this show. So we'll probably disregard that, but I left it in anyways. Oh, we can complain about Fallout 76. We got so much to talk about. We got Amiibos to unbox. Amiibos came out last month, same day as Pokemon. We got a lot to do, but I'm glad to be back. I've been so busy with college. Holy shit. It's been busy. That's where I've been. I'm not dead. I'm getting back into this. I'm getting back into the YouTubes. Kind of. It's hard. I was going to do this last night, but I went and saw Star Wars instead. And I was so tired after Star Wars. Yeah, let's get into it. Let's boot up Pokemon. So, now, I've already beaten Pokemon. I haven't 100%ed the game yet. I'll show you when we get in. But I've done a few things, and we're going... Instead of... The obvious thing we should be doing is shiny hunting. We're not going to be shiny hunting. Instead, we're going to be breeding a competitive Pokemon. So this is my girl. I don't have a name for her. This is like her third redesign. Because there's the starting character, Gloria. And then I gave her blonde side hair at some point. And then I made her like a basic girl with the Ugg boots and the jacket and ripped jeans. It was funny. And I did that around like the 6th gym. Right before the 6th gym. And then after I beat the game, I redesigned her into this, which I think looks kind of nice. And the reason I picked the girl character is just because it's more clothing options. When I played a girl in... Because I normally play the guy, but in Ultra Sun and Moon I played the girl, and customizing her was just so much fun. It was so much more interesting. But yeah, so... We'll get back to that. So this is my team. You've got... yeah, let's leave it on the screen. You've got Agni, what is it, a Cinder Dance? the starter. This is the starter I chose. Out of all of the three, this is the one I like the most. You've got Swinton the Phalanx, who is my favorite Pokemon of the generation so far. I love it so... I love this thing so much. It's so great. It's like 6 Kirby's. So much fun. You've got Elaine the Hatrina? Yeah, let's go with Hatrina. And yeah, she's been pretty useful to the team. Like, I don't know if there's like an MVP. Well, honestly, you could argue it's Fisk. He took so many hits. He's so fast. He dealt out so much. He would probably be the closest. That or our starter. Yeah, and you can tell I've used these guys more than these guys. And I'm talking about in the post game, but yeah, she's kind of cool. Her move set isn't the best, but hey, she beat the game. You've got Fisk, who is just a basic Barraskewda. Yeah, it's a he, right? He's fine. I don't love the design, but I needed a water type. Hey, what's up, MSC Pinks? MC Pinks? MC... Like, do you draw out the C? Yeah, hey, what's up? Yeah, so you've got Barraskewda. You've got Foe the... is it Appleton? Talk about... So, I'm going to be honest. I know we can talk about Applin. Do you like Applin? Do you not like Applin? I loved Applin. I hated Applin's evolutions. I hate Appleton. Chillin', Raiden. Oh, cool. Thanks. Yeah, I'm just going through, because I haven't streamed this game before, so I'm just kind of going through my Pokemon journey right now, getting everything up to speed, and then I'm going to be braiding some competitive stuff and talking about game news here in a little bit. But yeah, so you've got Appleton, and I do not like Appleton, but I originally had Eldegoss on my team, and it just didn't learn any good moves. I kept leveling it up, and it just wasn't learning anything good. So eventually I ditched it for Appleton just because it had better moves, it had more diversity, it was stronger. I liked it more. So I used Appleton. It's fine. Like, it did me good during the final battle, but I don't love it. And then you've got Runerigus, Azuka, and yeah, no, it's not the strongest thing. It treated me more like a glass cannon for the most part. I know it isn't. It's got pretty good defense actually, but it was never too strong. It was very situational, but I liked it. Overall, my team was mostly balanced. It did me well. I am really thankful for this game because I was constant. This team, I think I finalized this team like at the 6th gym. Usually I have, like, unless it's something late game, I try to have my team finalized early as possible. I mean, every once in a while, like in Sun and Moon, I added a Beware like the 4th gym, but that's usually the exception rather than the rule. And then we've got the box. So my goal is to complete the Pokedex. So while I was playing through, I was catching every new thing. This is half of them. This is the other half. My goal, right, complete the every time I play a new Pokemon game since Gen 6, I try to catch every new Pokemon to that region. That's just how I play Pokemon games since Gen 6. I find it fun. I like catching all the new stuff. Even if I've already played the game once before, I like to do that. And yeah, this game was no different. And I wasn't in mind trying to... I didn't do it in mind trying to complete the Pokedex, even though we'll get to that here in a second. But yeah, that's everything I've got. And some of them have names, like that one has a name, but its evolutions don't, that I caught at later points. That has a name, that has a name. Some didn't. Like, I never named Indeedee just because I caught it so late on. I guess I never named these guys because I caught them so late. There's a few like that. That was the last Pokemon I got of that was new. Well, excluding the starters. Because the person who's supposed to get me the other Pokemon from the other game has not beaten the game yet. So I cannot get the new Pokemon. Oh, hello, puppy. So yeah, this is where I'm stuck with right here. So anything I'm missing, like Alolan Darmanitan and the Stonehenge Pokemon, I will get eventually. I'm waiting for the other person who has Sword. 'Cause it's my brother. I'm just gonna say that he has not beaten the game. I think he's still at the first gym. And I don't have Nintendo Switch Online, so I can't go online and trade with anybody. I'm getting it at Christmas. Whatever. I already know I'm doing that. Yeah. And so that's that. And then we get into box 3. And this is me trying to complete the Pokedex. I started this right after I beat the game. Maybe not right after. Like, there were a few... Let's see, is there a point? So a lot of these come from max raid battles. Right here. This is the moment I beat the game, and I started going for everything. But yeah, so I got this first box mostly through max raid battles. Just how it worked. So you got this box. So you got this box, this box, this box. Here's another one. Give us another one. Give us another one. Another one. How about one more? And yeah, that's it. And then these are the 3 ones that need to be traded. I think I think Rhydon needs to be traded. I know these 2 do. Okay, I did give it the sachet. Oops. Yeah. Yeah, I've caught a lot of stuff. This isn't... It's not a living dex. There are things that are missing in here. Like, I can't give any good examples off the top of my head, but I know this isn't a living dex. There are certain and there are things I'm missing. I'm missing Sylveon. I'm missing Lucario. I cannot find... Ralou and Lucario only appear in one place during one specific weather condition, and I cannot get that weather condition. Nope. So I don't have them. Then you've got the Blink box. And then the boxes after that we'll get back to. So this gets me to my important box. Yeah, we'll start here. So these are my Dynamax capable Pokemon. Meowth, Corviknight, Centiskorch, Butterfree, and Snorlax. The Gigantamax Pokemon are so freaking rare, man. I've been just trying to get one of them, because every time, I have caught so many Centiskorches. There's the one here, there's 2 here, there's another one there, and there's another one there. What, that's like 5? Yeah, like 5 Centiskorches. All from Dynamax and Gigantamax battles. Centiskorch shows up so much. Then Corviknight. I think I only have like 2 of these. And then Butterfree. I think I only have 2, because I don't think this one Gigantamax. Maybe this one does Gigantamax. I don't remember. And then Snorlax. It took me forever to get the one the event one. No, I didn't. I fought 2. I've been able to beat 2. Because I don't have Nintendo Switch Online, I'm playing this all on my own. I don't have anyone to help me out with the raids. So I am screwed in the raids. It's just me by myself, no Nintendo Switch Online, and the AI sucks. The AI is Martin and his Solrock. That's not the one that annoys me. Actually, the Solrock can usually take a few hits. The one that annoys me is Clefairy, and it uses Follow Me, and then it just gets killed. Without fail. And I hate when they give you more than one support. Because there's 4 supports. Solrock, Clefairy, Togepi, and Eevee. And you can get battles where you get Eevee and Togepi in the same battle, Clefairy and Togepi in the same battle. I think I've seen Clefairy, Togepi, and Eevee all in the same battle. It's a nightmare. Maybe Maractus isn't support, but it just uses solar power, and that takes 2 turns. We'll get back to these guys later. And this is my shiny Pookie, the Cutiefly. It's based on that one webcomic. Usually every generation, I haven't hunted shinies yet. I don't have the shiny charm because I haven't completed the dex because I need the Pokemon from the other game. It's like, I have like 53. Oh, and I need to get Inteleon somehow. I picked Scorbunny as my starter. The guy who has the other game, my brother, picked Grookey, so I need to find someone who has Inteleon. But every generation, I get 1 starter. In Gen 4, it was a Vileplume. I no longer have that. In Gen 5, it was a Seismitoad. Still have that one. It actually showed up in my Let's Play. I found it while training for the second gym in my Let's Play of Pokemon Black and White. And I still have it. I think it's in my Gen 6 game. I think it's in my Gen 6 game. In Gen 6, it was an Audino, which was cool because it Mega Evolved in Omega Ruby. And then in Gen 7, it was a Drowsy. And in Gen 8, it's Pookie the Cutiefly. I get one. I get one that I don't grind for. Once I get the Shiny Charm, I'll probably grind for something. This is my competitive box. We'll be coming back to this here in a minute, because we'll need that. And these are my trash boxes. These are like duplicates. There's some good IVs in here. Right? Okay, not that one. There's some Pokemon with some good IVs and whatnot. But this is just duplicates, stuff I get from max raid battles that I don't really need. There's some okay IV stuff in here. I mean, that Goldsupla's not bad. And that brings us to those guys, and then I've got the boxes of stuff I've bred for competitive. Morpeko, Toxtricity, Poltegeist, Phalanx, Duraludon, and Ralts, which is for the stuff. Yeah, Ralts is for this. And that brings us to my competitive Pokemon. You've got Duraludon, Centiskorch, Phalanx, Dracovish, Poltegeist, Toxtricity, and Morpeko. I also have this Milcery, which has every stat but speed. I'm probably going to change its nature up a little bit. I think it needs I should probably change its nature to probably hurt its speed stat using a Ment. I got this from a Dynamax, or from a max raid. But other than that, it's perfect, so I'm just gonna use that. Same thing with this Corviknight. This Corviknight doesn't have... No, it has a good nature. It has a calm nature. That's good. It doesn't have... I mean, maybe it should have better attack stats. I don't know. Probably. Yeah, it should probably... No, that's yeah, I don't know. This Corviknight's fine. I got this. This can. It's a Gigantamax. But yeah, these are my competitive Pokemon. I used to play competitive in Gen 6. Took me over 200 hours to get a competitive team. In this, okay, probably 150, and there was probably some shiny hunting in there. Like I know I got a shiny Gardevoir at some point, a shiny Charizard. In this game, in less than 100 hours, I beat the game, almost completed the Pokedex, and got 7 competitive Pokemon, and we're about to go to number 8, and I'm not even at 100 hours yet. It just makes everything so much... This game has made everything so much easier. I love it so much. We're gonna throw these guys in a box. Not all of them, just these 3. But yeah, so that's everything I've done so far. Like I said, I'm less than 100 hours in. Now that I have finished up Colleague for the rest of the year, I've had some time to play Pokemon. And I listen to books while playing. I listen to books and podcasts while playing Pokemon. So what we're going to be doing tonight is, while I talk about the news and all that, I've got a bunch of stories, again, from the past, like, 2 months. We're going to be bringing the next competitive. The last thing I want, for the moment, which is a Dragapult? Yeah. If every generation, my competitive Pokemon usually take on a theme. In Gen 6, it was Steel. 3 of the Pokemon were Steel types. Or was it Fairy? God, I don't remember off the top of my head. I think it was Steel, though. No, it might. I don't remember. I think it was Steel. In Gen 7, they were Water types. I had a Toxapeck, I had a Pyukumuku, and I had a Wishiwashi. There were 3 Water types on my competitive team. In Gen 8 here, they're taking up the form of Dragon types. You've got Duraludon and you've got Dracovish, and the last one I need is a Dragapult. So I've got an idea of what I'm looking for. A lot of these team comps are just based on, like, YouTube videos I watch and, like, me trying to put together teams with ideas. I was actually looking into Darmanitan and SQ as well. But yeah, so that's what we'll be doing. So I need to start off. I need to figure out what nature I need. That'll be the first thing we do. So I need a timid nature. Do I have a timid nature Ditto? I think. Oh, yeah, I do. That shows you how many. I got all of these Roltzes, and I've used 3 of them. Now, admittedly, like, the Dracovish I soft resetted for, and the Centiskorch I already had. But all the rest of them all fall into one of those 2 natures. Yeah, so let's head over to the daycare. Let's save. That'll show you how far I am. That's my dex. Yeah, that's what I've done so far. Yeah, so yeah, that's what we'll be doing tonight. I don't really care. So yeah, we've got a lot of news to cover. There is a lot that has happened in the past 2 months. Some of it doesn't matter. Like, I've got Pokemon news on here. That does not matter. So yeah, so let's start off. So the Sonic movie, I'm also going to try to keep tonight a little shorter. Like, if we don't get to the Ivy training, I wouldn't be surprised. But yeah, so the Sonic trailer got a new movie. Or the Sonic movie got a new trailer. It'll never be as good as Achievement Hunter Sonic movie. Holy shit. Oh god, that's still so funny. But yeah, so it got a new trailer and we see the redesign. Now, since the trailer has come out, the studio behind the Sonic redesign has been shut down. And that sucks. When stuff like that happens, it's terrible. And from what I hear, the VFX industry is not perfect. It's a lot of, like, tax loopholes. And if a studio in a different country and/or city is willing to offer a better tax relief than the current one, they will shut down a studio. So it's bad. But yeah, that happened, and now the Sonic movie, I mean, it's still gonna happen. But that's kind of where we're at with that. But the new thing looks really good. I don't think the movie is going to be great. I mean, it'll probably be better than the Cats movie. Oh god, I've seen the new Star Wars movie, and we'll talk about it later. Probably after I go get some water later on. Yeah, we'll talk about Star Wars later, but I want to go see the Cats movie. It's a disaster. It's definitely going to be, but god, I want to see it so bad. It's going to be beautiful. But yeah, so the new Sonic trailer, yeah, it looks good. It looks a lot better. This new trailer definitely had a different tone than the first one. And that's a good thing, because the tone of the original trailer it was weird, and Sonic looked ugly, and now it looks a lot better, and it looks like this movie could be fun. It's just an overall better trailer. Again, I still think the movie's going to be bad, but this gives me hope. And hope's a hard thing to come by nowadays. Oh, God. Yeah. Next up, BlizzCon happened. This, again, these are things again, this started sometime in October. Everyone went into BlizzCon expecting it to be a disaster because of all the free Hong Kong revolution of our time. No, I do support Hong Kong in every way. Fight for democracy. But I was hoping BlizzCon was going to burn to the ground. It was going to be metaphorically burned to the ground. It was going to be beautiful. Nope, that's not what happened. It was... I mean, there were moments, there were people handing out t-shirts outside of BlizzCon and stuff like that. But no, nothing really that bad happened. And of course, people were willing to forgive Blizzard the second they announced Overwatch 2 or... what else? Oh, Diablo 4, which we all knew was coming. Which, God, Overwatch... Oh, it was funny leading up to it. Because Overwatch released on the Switch to absolutely no fanfare. I hear the port is garbage. But that was so funny, just because it was in the middle of all of this controversy. And Blizzard just didn't... And Blizzard and Nintendo barely said anything. All they did was, there was supposed to be an event at the Nintendo World headquarters, and they just canceled it. That was it. That was so funny. But yeah, Blizzard just kept fucking up. There was a letter from Congress. There's been two things in the Hong Kong. There was a letter to Congress, to Blizzard, basically condemning them for their actions on Hong Kong, and that companies are putting business before democracy, even though they're American companies, even though most companies like Activision Blizzard and EA technically have their headquarters in other countries, so they can take advantage of that country's tax loopholes and never pay a cent of tax here in the US. Fuck major corporations, eat rich people. I know that's a joke, but I mean, it's a modest proposal. That happened, and then later on, a bipartisan committee released a statement supporting Hong Kong, which was good. Bipartisan things are so rare in this modern age. It was good to see a bipartisan thing happen on, it does have the right nature. It is good to see a bipartisan do something. And yeah, so that happened. Yeah, BlizzCon, I wanted a disaster, and it just didn't happen. It was super disappointing. Timid. So let's see. I need everything but attack. I think that's this Ditto? Yeah. So let's get you a Destiny Knot. I know that's around here. Now that's down below. I was like, I know the Destiny Knot's around here somewheres. Alright. Now we start egging. And these eggs take a while to hatch. These are not fast-acting eggs. Like, when I did more Peko yesterday. Because I originally did the full team of 6. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to take a break. And then I took a few day break, worked on the Pokedex, got it to where I am. That was 2 days ago, and then I did more Peko yesterday. Yeah, so BlizzCon was just a disappointment. That's it. Screw Activision Blizzard. We'll get to it later, but screw all major AAA publishers. I mean, there's a few good, like, first-party ones, like Nintendo, like Sony, and there's a few good AAA ones. I mean, CD Projekt Red has problems with, what's that? Where you overwork your employees, crunch. That's a project's problem. But for the most part, they're better. Indie game studios are good. Yeah, we're going to talk about that. But yeah, so next up, I have Pokemon news. This was talking about Gigantamax Meowth. I still don't know how to get Gigantamax Eevee or Pikachu. I know if you have Let's Go Pikachu or Eevee, you can get the Gigantamax Pikachu and Eevee. I don't know how to do that yet, and I have Let's Go Eevee. Let's Go Eevee was really fun as well. Like, it's one of the only games where I've completed the Pokedex in. Where'd you drop your ball? Where'd you drop it? Was this it? Was it the spiky one? Was that it? Yeah, I think that was it. But yeah, so there was Pokemon news. There was areas about the massive area and stuff about the Pokemon being overleveled. None of it matters. The game's out now. Go play it. I'll kind of do in a little bit, probably after the break. I'll do like a mini review of Pokemon Sword and Shield because I definitely have thoughts on this game, both good and bad. I mean, I've put almost 100 hours into it, so you know it's doing something right. Over like a month. Oh, also Pokemon Sword and Shield leaked. Like the entire Dex leaked and a bunch of other information leaked before the game came out. And I was, for the most part, able to avoid them. I found out about the starters. And I think that was it. I think maybe one other thing came to my attention, but other than that, no, I was mostly able to avoid those Pokemon spoilers. So that way, when I was playing through the game and I found Pokemon like Phalanx and Applin, Pokemon that genuinely surprised me, it was actually a really cool thing to happen. Yeah, that happened. Next up, we got Fallout 76. Fallout 76. So Bethesda released Fallout 76. Well, it was about a year ago, and then they just went through like 4 to 6 months of just every other day there was a new controversy. Because fuck Bethesda and fuck Fallout 76. And you know, it hasn't slowed down. Someone on Twitter, I don't remember who, I don't think it was Joseph Anderson. Go watch Joseph Anderson. Even if you don't care about Fallout 76, go watch Joseph Anderson's videos on Fallout 76. I know it takes like 5 hours, but they are more than worth it. Because as someone put on Twitter, Fallout 76 is the most interesting game I have never paid a dime for. I have got endless hours, feature-length movies worth of entertainment out of Fallout 76, man. And it's just controversy after controversy. It's so bad. Oh, that's good. Water. Good. But yeah, so Fallout in their not even, you know, so I've been, like I said, this has been months in the making. So I would say in their most recent controversy, but since then they have had 2 more controversies since this came out, even though this was a controversy in and of itself. Oh, and this is bullshit. What I'm talking about is Fallout First. So Fallout First is a subscription service where you can pay $100 a year to get what Fallout 76 should have been the whole time. And what I mean by that is you can finally get private servers in Fallout 76. One of Fallout 76's biggest problems was that there weren't private servers. Joseph Anderson pointed out that, you know, maybe if there were private servers, the game would work better, because at one point the game glitched out and him and Mandalore got a server to themselves, and he pointed out how like things were different. So this should have been there from the beginning. And now something that was highly requested by fans, they're charging you money for. It's this Jim Sterling coined the term solution selling, which, yeah, that's it. This is making a problem of the always online world and selling you back the solution. This is them solution selling, and it's bullshit. Other things this did. it gave you better item storage. Item storage in Fallout 76 is bullshit. There's that one clip of someone sending Todd Howard a box of bobby pins and telling him to weigh them because the weight was glitched out in the game and they were weighing like hundreds of pounds. And like just a box of bobby pins would fill up a person's inventory. The game is bugged beyond all belief, man. It's fucking garbo. It gave you money in the Atomic Shop, I know that. Which the Atomic Shop is bullshit, because they kept adding, like, something people, like, some people are okay with cosmetic microtransactions. They shouldn't be. Pupper, what you doing? What you doing, Pupper? Come here, let me give you some pets. I'll show the Pupper later. Who wants some pets? How well can I play Pokemon one-handed? I'm playing one-handed right now while petting a Pupper with the other hand. But yeah, so the Atomic Shop was bullshit, and people say, oh, cosmetics are fine. Cosmetics are bullshit as well. Because, like, you play a game like Borderlands or, God, even Sonic Forces, and they just give you the cosmetics. Just playing the game, you'll get cosmetics. So it's bullshit. It's utter bullshit. But yeah, and there's other bullshit in this Fallout First membership. I don't remember any of it, but it costs $100. Oh my god, this is terrible. And then they delay the DLC. I think it's new. It's not Nuclear Winter, the Wastelands DLC or whatever. That's supposed to add NPCs and make the game, an actual game instead of the bullshit they started with. That got delayed until next year, so that's not even out yet. Oh, yeah. And then, just to top it off... Okay, I'm gonna... Wait, I gotta... God, we'll probably have to destroy one of those rules boxes. Let's change its name. Drag... Pulled. I'm so slow at typing with the controller. Always have been. Change the wallpaper. Let's get a nice freaking dragon wallpaper. Let's go that dragon. That's dragon enough for me. Okay, that's got 3 good stats. That's got 2. That's got nothing. But yeah, so on top of that, when Fallout First actually released, it was broken. Private servers weren't actually private. They were glitched, and other people were able to get on. That's... Oh my god. God, I didn't mean to take out Ditto. That's hilarious. Hey, what's up? Ryan of the Stars, how you doing? But yeah, so that's hilarious in and of itself. Then, to make matters worse, the storage box that's supposed to this is a storage box that will increase your storage, right? Make the storage better in the game. That was glitched as well. And it was deleting people's items that they put in the storage box. It's so bad, it's hilarious. And then... Pretty good, how about you? I'm doing fine. It's right before Christmas, and I'm tired. Because, God, you'll see it later, but I've got all my Christmas stuff behind me. But yeah. It's busy. It's busy, but hey, I'm done with college for the year, so I get to enjoy that. But yeah, Fallout 76... Fallout First was a disaster. But another funny story that came out of it was that people would go onto lobbies, and if they had bought Fallout First, they'd get a special name tag. And people who didn't have the name tag started bullying people who did. And then there was this whole, would it be class war in Fallout 76, where people who had the Fallout First membership and people who didn't started teaming up and fighting one another. That is hilarious. And I know there are people who get a lot of enjoyment out of Fallout 76 and probably bought Fallout First because of how much they enjoy 76. Are they wrong to do so? Probably. Are they still going to get enjoyment out of it? So me telling them not to do it matters? Doesn't matter? Probably. But God, the entire thing was a train. The entire Fallout First thing is a train wreck. And the fact that the game is still even in the news cycle is hilarious. Because just this week, they introduced a new patch. And the patch was, I want to say it was destroying people's like inventories. All the gear they had was just being destroyed. Oh my God. Like, when a developer has a bug in a game, it's like, okay, that kind of sucks, right? But they'll usually patch it out. When Bethesda has bugs in its game, not only is it expected, but they're disastrous. And this, because it's an always online game, Bethesda is forced to patch out their bugs. Like, if this was a bug in Skyrim, which there are bugs like this in Skyrim, they wouldn't patch it out. The Nintendo Switch version of Skyrim had bugs that were in the base version of Skyrim that came out in 2011. In, what was it, 6 years? They never patched out any of those bugs. God, Bethesda is terrible. And then also this week, there was an exploit in the game that's no longer, I think Bethesda did actually patch it out for the moment, that allowed people to just spawn in whatever they wanted. And then if they logged off of the server and they were able to spawn an NPC. Now when they spawned the NPC, it was broken. But when they logged out and logged back into the server, the NPC worked. They spawned in the airship, the Ironclad or whatever it's called, from Fallout 4 into Fallout 76. The game is just so broken. It's the most entertainment I've got for never paying a dime. It's hilarious. It's sad how bad it is. It's disappointing how bad it is. It should, on all levels, have failed absolutely. But it did. It probably didn't. It's still making money, and they're still putting out DLC. I mean, they put a Battle Royale mode into the game, for Christ's sake. Yeah, that's Fallout 76. That's just in the past 2 months. Still, this game is still in the news cycle. Not in a positive light. Still a full year after. A game being in a news cycle a year after release is usually a good... Like, developers would usually oh, I'm so happy our game's still being talked about. Fallout 76 is not being talked about for good reasons. And I know no publicity is bad publicity, but yeah, no, there is bad publicity. I mean, look at early access games. You only get one first impression, and tons of early access games screw that up. How do you do an early access horror game? You don't. I mean, I guess you could do it episodically, but that's a little different. And then freaking, you get Bendy and the Ink Machine that goes back and retcons the first episode just to make the story more coherent as they developed it in later games. I never did see how that ended. I played the first 2 chapters and thought it was fine, but I never finished it. I thought it was fine. Yeah. But yeah, that's the disaster that is Fallout 76. Ah, God. Okay. Let's see, what Droopies do we got? That one's kind of garbo. A little better. A little better. Ah, that's getting closer. It's just missing special defense. So we'll keep. So most of the time, when breeding previous competitive Pokemon, as you saw, I'm usually able to keep it to one box. Duraludon took 2. Back in Gen 6, they usually took up on average like 4. But in Gen 6, I was working with 2 IV Dittos. Dittos that only had 2 IVs. In Gen 7, I was working with 5 IV Dittos. In this game, I'm working with 4 IV Dittos that I got right over there. So, I mean, you win some, you lose some. Let's see, what else? So, let's just continue on with the game industry bullshit. So, that was all of Bethesda's bullshit. I've talked about Blizzard's bullshit. And how Blizzard is just endless shit. And they're just trying to, Diablo 4. Oh, we're making, Did I actually grab this egg last go around? I don't remember. Oh, Diablo 4. Oh, we're making, Overwatch 2, which is literally just Overwatch 1, but with, like, a PvE mode or something. Overwatch is all backstory. There is no story in Overwatch. It's all just backstory. It's got terrible lore. What's the fun? There's a funny, like, Overwatch is all, right, it's all backstory. And someone compared it to TF2's lore, and it's, oh god, is it Abraham Lincoln? Who's, like, the president, and... No, it's not. I know they reference Abraham Lincoln, but it's like one of the famous music composers. Oh god, there's that piece of, it's so funny. I still think, again, it's... It's the problem making these online games, and you just can't, by the nature of them, have any story. That always online games just take away from it. It's kind of like how cooperative games take away from story. I mean, yes, you have games that try. Was it Brothers, Tale of Two Sons? That one prison game with the guy who said fuck the Oscars, Unraveled. You have competitive games that try story. At least I think Unraveled 2 tried story. I know the Brothers and the sequel to that did. But it doesn't always work. But yeah, no, Overwatch 2 looks like bullshit. Like, if they wanted to do like, Titanfall 2 was great. Because Titanfall was a game that says, like, oh, we're making an always online game. And the story is going to be in the online. Nobody gave a shit about the story in online. Titanfall 2 had a story mode. And it's one of the best story modes in an online shooter. They're making Breath of the Wild 2. Oh my god. I was disappointed they didn't show Breath of the Wild 2 at the Game Awards. We'll get to the Game Awards at some point tonight. But, like, someone brought up, it was one of the Game Explain guys, that the Game Awards, this was their 5th anniversary, right? They've been doing the show for 5 years now. Of those 5 years, Breath of the Wild has been at 3 of them. Okay, so I think it was at... Was it at the first... Oh, yeah, it was at 3 of them. It was at the very first Game Awards. It was at the second Game Awards. It won an award at the third Game Awards, plus showed off the championship DLC. Breath of the Wild has a tie with the Game Awards, so it wouldn't have been so cool if they showed off Breath of the Wild 2 at the Game Awards. Like, hearing that evidence, it makes perfect sense. But nope. The first footage we ever got of the original Breath of the Wild, that was like gameplay and not a cutscene, was at the Game Awards. It was Miyamoto and... Oh god, I can't remember his name off the top of my head. But it was the two of them sitting down and playing Breath of the Wild on a TV. I was so disappointed. But my prediction, just because we're on Breath of the Wild now, my prediction is Breath of the Wild 2 will come out this year. It's been 3 years since the original came out. Breath of the Wild 2 is coming out this year. I know some people think 2021, and it'll probably will be 2021. But my prediction is at E3, they're going to announce that Breath of the Wild, maybe even earlier than that, maybe even at a Nintendo Direct, because it looks like it's going the Majora's Mask route, where instead of being a brand new game from the ground up, it's going to be more using assets from it's using assets from Breath of the Wild 1 to make the second one. My prediction is, yeah, it's going to be this year. They're going to reveal it at E3, and it's going to be our holiday title. And then at E3, because we never got Mario Odyssey DLC, which is crazy. We never got Mario Odyssey DLC, so my guess is that we're going to get Mario Odyssey 2. And that's going to get a 2021 release date. And then in 2022, we get Metroid Prime 4. 3 years in a row, Nintendo's just going to hit it out of the park. Next year, this year, like, you look back at 2017. 2017 was an amazing year for gaming. There was so many great games in 2017. 2018 was a little lackluster, but it still had good stuff. It had God of War. 2017, I think, has been a lot more mild, but what it lacks in quality, it makes up for in quantity. There have been so many good games. Not that many amazing games, but a lot of good and great ones. Nothing amazing, though. So, let's see. There it is. There's our next JP. Okay, so we'll set that one aside. But yeah, I hope it's 2020. But and I hope, because we're getting a January Direct. I think we all, because of what happened at the Game Awards, again, we'll get to that. I think that means it's inevitable we're getting a January Direct. Splatoon, I want a Splatoon 3. Like, the fact that we're done with deal, because the Splatoon team is the same team that does Animal Crossing. My problem with Splatoon 3 is I'm pretty sure the Splatoon team is the same team that did Animal Crossing. Or at least at one point they were similar, right? Like, the director of Splatoon was also the director of Animal Crossing. Like, they're closely related. So I don't know if Splatoon 3 would be this year, or 2020, but I could see it next year, and I could see it having a Battle Royale mode. Because at the end of Splatoon 2, it ended off with the Apocalypse one, right? Chaos one? So I could see them doing Splatoon 3 with a Battle Royale mode set in the Chaos world based off of the final Splatfest of Splatoon 2. That's my guess for Splatoon 3. I've talked about this before. I spent a lot of time thinking about Splatoon 3, man. God, that's a lot of boxes. So we need everything but attack. So this one's it. Yeah, Splatoon 3. It's cool. I want that. Because I know there are a few people who think we're gonna wait until the next generation to get Splatoon 3. And I kind of see where they're coming from, but I want it sooner than later. So where was I? I was talking about industry bullshit. Let me see. So Blizzard sucks. Free Hong Kong, Revolution of Our Time. EA sucks because of surprise mechanics. Oh god. And so I have this big prediction that I keep thinking about. That sooner rather than later, we're going to see the collapse of the video game industry. Much like Atari did in the early 80s. I think the video game industry bubble is getting too big. I don't think the industry is going to die. I think companies like Nintendo and the big three, Nintendo, Microsoft, and Sony, are going to be okay. But most third-party studios are just going to collapse under their weight. It's going to be caused by EA or Activision. Because EA and Activision, even though they keep setting record-breaking years, they keep losing money. EA and Activision each had financial reports come out in the past 2 months where they're just hemorrhaging money. They're losing employees. It's crazy. I mean, EA put out its first good game. When was EA's last good game before Fallen Order? Really? I can't think of one. I know there has to be one. But EA is just such a greedy bullshit company that I can't think of one. And then Activision, what did it... I know Activision has put out good games. They did the Spyro... Did they do the Spyro... I know they did the Crash trilogy. Like, that's good. Crash Team Racing was great. And then, of course, because every game has to be an always online service, they added microtransactions to Crash Team Racing. A great game that Activision's greed fucking... It didn't ruin the game. The game is still great. Has a plethora of content. You can easily get your money's worth playing it. With just ignoring the microtransactions. But fuck Activision for doing that. And it's all Activision. It's not Toys for Bob, or I think it's Toys for Bob who do those games. They totally get it. But fucking Activision Blizzard, everything has to be a money-making microtransaction game. They couldn't put microtransactions in Crash, but they can do it in a racing game. Fuck, man. Fuck Activision Blizzard. It was such a good game as well. It would easily be in my nomination for Game of the Year, but because it has microtransactions, it can no longer do that. I know it won an award at the Game Awards, but fuck microtransactions, man. Fuck me. And we all saw it coming, just based on like how the shop was designed. It was very clear, and there's tons of great content. God, it breaks my heart so much. Oh God. I need to play. I own it. I bought it on sale way back when. Like, it came out, and then there was like a price error a week later where it was over half off. And I bought it during that price error. Let's see. Ubisoft did an earning call and their stocks fell. Right? Just tons of bad shit is happening. And then Bethesda and their greedy bullshit. Yeah. It's just, I do not have high hopes for the gaming industry. For every good studio out there, there's an evil one. Or really, yeah, basically, just God, and that's, yes, that's a problem with AAA capitalism. God, it breaks my heart, man. It breaks my heart. And, I mean, there's moments of hope. There are moments of hope. How far? Now let's talk about the Game Awards, because I'm thinking about that. So the Game Awards came after this long week of like state of plays and... Oh God, that happened. Oh God, that happened. But yeah, there were state of plays and indies. Honestly, Sword and Shield were a letdown in the content spectrum. Yes. You know, there was a moment after I beat the game, like I didn't even realize it while playing. But after I beat the game, I was like, oh shit, there wasn't an Elite Four. Why wasn't there an Elite Four? That, like, I didn't realize it while playing, but afterwards I was just so disappointed. Like, all these interesting characters, like, Elite Fours are usually fun, but nothing in this game. Oh God, what a letdown. And there's tons of little moments like that. It's very obvious this game was rushed. But I'll get to that. So let's talk about the Game Awards real quick, just because we got a lot of things to talk about tonight. We got some Amiibos to unbox here in a little bit, because I have a pile of Amiibos building up on my desk, and I need to open up some of them to make room. Oh God. So let's see, Game Awards. The Game Awards started off with the Xbox Series X. Yeah, okay. I did not see that coming at all. So at the start of this generation, I've talked about this before, I did not like the Xbox One. I thought the Xbox One, it's stupid. I've called it the X-Bone almost the entire generation. And the original pitch for the X-Bone sucked. Microsoft did go back on a lot of those things, which was good. Always online DRM, their insistence on Kinect, that they eventually, even that, like it took them an extra 2 years. But I was really against Microsoft at the end of this year, at the beginning of this generation. But in the past, and they've done some bullshit. Like, a lot of, like, the microtransaction, always online stuff that I bitch about, like, EA for and all that stuff, they're guilty of as well. Sony and Nintendo don't do it, except for in their mobile games, Nintendo does. Sony doesn't. well, they don't make mobile games, and at least I don't know. I've never. Whenever I think Sony's games, I think of like Last of Us 2 and Spider-Man, which, God, I want to play. It's another year goes by, another year I don't own a PS4. God, I want to play Spider-Man on PS4 so bad. Oh God, that game looks so good. I want to play it, but I can't. I don't own a PS4. But yeah, at the start of this generation, I was rooting against Microsoft, but as time went on, I just stopped giving a shit. Like, who cares about the console wars anymore, really? I mean, I know like, Sony and Microsoft need to fight each other, much like how Nintendo and Sega needed to fight each other in the 90s. It's just kind of the way the days works. But, like, I don't care anymore. And especially being a Nintendo fan, Nintendo retired from the console wars. Back in the day, they were called the Bit Wars, between Sony, Sega, and Nintendo. And Nintendo won the Bit Wars when the when the Dreamcast was defeated, and Sega stopped making consoles. And then the console wars started up between Microsoft and Sony, and Nintendo always just kind of stayed to the side. The Wii was the best-selling console of its generation, but people don't really talk about it that way. And now the Switch is on track to set records. And as time I just don't care about the console wars. And I've actually been more lenient towards Microsoft. If they start making the right moves, start making good first-party games that actually appeal to people, don't have any of this loot box, microtransaction bullshit, and are just good, genuine games, I'm totally willing to give Microsoft a chance. And them doing things like putting Cuphead, or letting Cuphead and Ori and the Blind Forest come to Switch, allowing Banjo to be in Smash. Being a Nintendo fan, I am biased, but that has garnered favor for me, personally. I want Microsoft to do better. I believe in healthy competition. I may not love AAA capitalism, but competition is a very important part. If Microsoft does well, if Sony does well, then we as gamers benefit. As long as they don't form like the airplane monopoly, where all the companies just agree not to compete and regulate prices. Look it up. But yeah, that's how it started off. It started off with the Xbox Series X. I think the console design looks fine. Imran Khan, the former Informer, currently working at Kinda Funny, pointed out that as long as the console tells me as long as the console will fit in my entertainment system, I know where the power button is, and I know where the disc drive is, it's doing something right. I know that's a very simplistic way to look at it. And that is the Xbone. The Xbone is a very simplistic looking console. But he's kinda right. I don't think he said the thing about fitting on the shelf, but I know he said the power button and disc drive thing. At least I think that was Imran Khan. It may have been Jason Schreier, but I think it was Imran Khan. And yeah, no, I think he's got a point. The look of the console, the vent system, ever since the 360 and the Red Ring of Death, Xbox has been very concerned about venting, rightfully so. But yeah, I think the console looks fine. It's very simplistic, but I'm fine with that. The name, however, is terrible. Like, for people like us who play video games all the time, it's not going to be a big issue. But for someone who doesn't, say like a grandmother who's buying their grandkids a video game system, they won't be able to tell the difference. And you know how I know? Because it happened to me this year. I want a PS2. I'm always talking about a PS2. My grandmother knows that a PS4. I own a PS2. PS2 is the only generation I ever betrayed Nintendo, was the PS2. That's how good the PS2 was. But my grandmother knows I want a PS4. So while she was out shopping, she saw a console on sale, bought it, and she bought an Xbox One S. They'll still get it confused. Xbox is saying we should have faith in our consumer. No. And I told her to just return it. It's fine. I didn't care, right? Just return it. If I buy a PS4, I'll probably do it with my own money. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I've had the money for years. I just, every year I talk myself out of it. Are we at 5? Yeah, we are at 5. But yeah, so it'll happen, and they expect the consumer to know. The consumer does not know. I know for a fact. Oh, fuck, that's so close. That is so, oh my god, that's so close in the opposite direction. If it had gotten the special defense stat, not the attack stat. Oh, god. Or, no, wait. I can use that. I can use that still. Because this Ditto has... God, I should rearrange those boxes to put them closer. This Ditto has special defense. I can use that. I can use that, because this got the defense stat. I'm going to use this. I'll show you how. Okay, so real quick, Xbox One. Let me just real quick finish this up real quick. So I think the name is going to screw them over. They're putting too much faith in the consumer, who will screw this up. And they've decided that, no, the new... So, like, PS4 is very simple to figure out. It's PS4. So, the new console is PS5. Very simple and easy to understand. Right? Higher number equals better console. This, they went from Xbox to Xbox 360 to Xbox One to Xbox. This console is just... They're going the Fast and Furious route. Where they're just going back, after 3 changing names, they're going back to the original name. And Series X is just, because what they're trying to do is they're trying to transition Xbox into a brand like Cars. Mansion 3 was better than Dark Moon, which I say was surprised. I did play Luigi's Mansion 3. I like Dark Moon. I really did like Dark Moon. I seem to be in the minority on that one. But I really did like Dark Moon. And yeah, 3 was better. I did not like the ending. I was disappointed with the ending. But other than that, it was really solid and it looked beautiful. But we'll talk about that. Because I did buy that one. But yeah, so the Xbox One X... I don't have... They're going to transition it like Cars. You like Dark Moon as well? Yeah, I don't know why people... Like, I didn't... At the time, I thought people liked Dark Moon. But as time went on, just a lot of people were really negative on it. And I didn't really get it. Like, I know people didn't like the mission structure, but there was more to Dark Moon than the mission structure. And the mission structure allowed for, like, different levels and whatnot. Like, it allowed for more creativity that... the mission structure allowed for more creativity and different mansions. Which, I mean, Luigi's Mansion 3 got around by having every floor have a different theme. Which was clever. Alright. So what I found with breeding competitive Pokemon for IVs is the best way to do it is get the 4 IVs you want. Then switch over to a different Pokemon. And then get 4 IVs, 4 or 5, usually 4, losing one of the ones the previous one had, but gaining something the new one had. So I needed defense. And in that one, usually I would sacrifice, so like what I'd want is HP. So my Ditto has everything but attack and defense. What I'd want is a Droopy that had HP, defense, special attack, and special defense. It doesn't have attack and speed. Then I go back to the original Ditto that has the 4 other stats, and without fail, within 6 eggs, it'll probably get me what I want. For some reason, it just works better. I don't, like, you'd think just using 2 Dittos, like, going from the first one, getting the 4, and then going to the other one just to get the 1 would work. But I find this method just consistently gets me the IVs faster. That's it, and I did the testing with Duraludon, and Duraludon, Phalanx, and one other thing. And one of the other ones. I've done the testing. This is what my findings bring. But yeah, I think I think the name, well, yes, maybe next generation if Microsoft doesn't try to get rid of generations, it'll work because they're changing how the names work. But for the moment, I think the naming scheme Xbox Series X, yes, it does communicate. Series X tells us that it's a stronger Xbox, but I do not think it's a good name. I don't. Game-wise, they're giving us Hellblade 2. Hellblade, another game on Switch. Good going, Microsoft. Is a game that looks really good. The first Hellblade, I have not played it, but I hear it's great. I do want to play it. And while I don't think we needed a sequel to it, because I know it was about, like, depression and whatnot, so I don't think we needed a sequel. It's kind of, I mean, sure, I'll do it. And it's going to be interesting to see what, is it it's either Team Ninja or Ninja Theory. It's one of those two. Can do with a bigger Microsoft funded budget. Just don't make it an always online game like Team Ninja or Ninja Theory's other game, which is basically just an Overwatch ripoff, kind of mixed with some Borderlands element, but not Battleborn. Yeah. Let's see. There was almost no Nintendo. This goes back to what we were talking about earlier with Breath of the Wild. It would have been really cool to see Breath of the Wild at the show. There wasn't. There was nothing. Everyone was expecting a Smash reveal. Last year at the Game Awards, they revealed Joker, the first DLC character. Still haven't bought the Smash DLC. I mean, Terry came out, and I have a little bit on Terry up here somewheres. We'll do it after the break. I was so disappointed there wasn't a Smash reveal. Tons of people tuned in for this show just for the Smash reveal. Jeff Keighley admitted that the Joker reveal from last year was his favorite moment from all of the Game Awards so far. And there was nothing. So disappointing. And yeah, Nintendo just didn't have a presence this year. There were 2 games, one of which I do not remember. Well, I know they showed Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. Some of its DLC. But I know there was one other Nintendo game. I don't remember what it was. And then there was No More Heroes 3. The trailer shown for No More Heroes 3 at the Game Awards was kind of whatever. Right? Like, it was a whatever trailer. But if you actually go in... at the end of the trailer, it's like, hey, there's a full trailer up on YouTube. Go watch the full trailer. It's only like 5 minutes long. And it's basically E.T. And it makes me want to play No More Heroes 3. It's really well done. It sets up... I think it looks like it's setting up the bosses of No More. Because from what I understand, No More Heroes is like a game where you've got the light sword and you go around and defeat a series... At least in the first game, you defeat like a series of assassins. This one seems to be taking more of like a superhero angle. Bro, we need Galaxy 3. Part of me agrees. Part of me just wants to see... I think they're going to do Odyssey 2 next year. I think Odyssey 2 is the right... They're either going to do Odyssey 2, or they're going to do a remake of Sunshine. Why not both? Honestly, if they did Sunshine... Because in the original artwork for Super Mario Odyssey, Isle Delfino was on the map, and then they updated the artwork later on to remove it. I don't get it. Maybe that was DLC that got cut, but it'd be cool to see I like Sunshine. I play it every year, at least once. Except for this year. I didn't play Sunshine this year. Did I? Maybe I played it in like July? I remember... No, I don't think I played Sunshine. I don't know. Galaxy 2 is kind of my like perfect one. Just because it took all the ideas of Galaxy and like expanded upon them. And my worry is if they do another Galaxy, they've used up all of their best cards and it's just not gonna work. That's my big fear with the Galaxy 2. See, look how close that one is. That's so close. That one I could totally also use for the thing I was talking about earlier. Oh, that one's even closer. But it's missing the... God, these Droopies are getting so close. God, I have had 3 that have just skirted around it. But eventually I'm gonna get there. But yeah, that's my worry with Galaxy 3, is that they just... Like, I want them to do... I want the Mario team to do new and interesting things. Because, like, look at the Mario... Just the 2D Mario series. The 2D Mario series has got bland and boring. Nintendo doesn't know how to make a good 2D Mario game anymore. In the age of Shovel Knight and Celeste, Nintendo doesn't know how to make them. However, fans do. And that's where you get the 2 Mario Maker games. And the 2 Mario Maker games are great. And they even added DLC, which, again, we'll talk about. God, I need some water. Anything else at the Game Awards? Little Nintendo. Disco Elysium. Disco Elysium, I have not played, but from everyone I have talked to who has played Disco Elysium, it is one of the best indie games out there. It's like the perfect RPG. It's amazing from what I hear. I want to play it so bad, but it's PC. It's PC right now. It's just on PC. It's coming to PS4 and Xbox later this year. Or next year, I mean. And I'd love for it to see it come to Switch. I don't think it will. But God, I want it to come to Switch. Because that's my console at the moment. I just have a Switch. I have a PC. I'm streaming on PC right now. Or streaming with a PC. But my PC's getting up in age. I think it'll be 4 years old soon. It's getting up there in age. I'll probably need to replace it soon. Like, probably not next year, but by 2021, definitely. I'll probably save up money all next year to get a new one. Yeah, it's getting up there. So I can't play it on PC. But God, I'm glad Disco Elysium won. It won 4 awards. Storytelling, the 2 Indie Game Awards, and one other thing that I don't remember. Best narrative, maybe best writing. All of them great. I'm so glad it won so many awards. It's so good from what I've heard. Yeah, that's... What else? Disco Elysium. I'm glad. It does suck that games like Baba Is You and Slay the Spire didn't get anything. It would have been... I always, every year with the Game Awards, like, no matter... Like, this year, I think the showing was... Like, the lack of... Like, a lot of people come just for the Nintendo thing, especially after what they did last year. Nintendo... People had its eyes on this year's Game Awards for Nintendo, and to say they dropped the ball would be an understatement. They just had nothing. And some people are saying that's because of Reggie. Reggie and Jeff Keighley are friends, and with Reggie no longer at Nintendo, maybe Nintendo will never have that big of a presence at the Game Awards again. Again, Nintendo was still getting publicity. While everyone was talking about the Game Awards, Nintendo was also trending because people were disappointed it wasn't there. Speaking of Reggie gave a speech during the Game Awards presenting Best Indie Game, and it was a really good speech. It was really nice. I really liked it. It was about, right, every developer starts out an indie developer. It was really good. Reggie's moments are always pretty good. Or is this the... I said this is the 5th Game Awards. Is this the 6th Game Awards? I don't remember. Huh. Let's see. Are any of these Droopies up? Nope. Watch me. I said my method to change Droopies usually worked, and now it's going to backfire on me. See, like... It's close, but like... God, this one... This one is so close as well. I'll have better luck with the 5IV Droopy. But yeah, Reggie gave a good speech. And then Game of the Year. So I had stated around the middle of the year, back in like June or July, that I was expecting Game of the Year to be Resident Evil 2. Critics were praising Resident Evil 2. It seemed like an obvious choice. I also said not to rule out Death Stranding. Just because, you know, Jeff Keighley... I know Jeff Keighley has nothing to do with the voting process, but him and Kojima are friends, and, you know, he's in Death Stranding, and that's kind of awkward. That's a story for another day. But those were my two. But I was expecting Resident Evil to win it. So I was genuinely... And I knew Smash Bros. Was going to be nominated, and I'm glad it got the nomination. It won Best Fighting Game. Luigi's Mansion 3 won Best Family Game, so Nintendo walked away with 2 awards. I mean, Nintendo Best Family Game was literally Nintendo and 4 other Nintendos. All 5 of the slots were taken up by Nintendo. They didn't even put Crash Team Racing on there, which I think won Best Racing Game because it was competing against nothing. Smash Bros. Was competing against nothing. What, Jump Force? Don't make me laugh. But yeah. So Game of the Year ended up going to Sekiro. Sekiro Shadow. I always say it's Sekiro. I don't know where that comes from. Sekiro. Sekiro? It's supposed to be more fluid. I say it's stilted, like a white guy, like the white guy I am, even though I'm only kind of white. Yeah, it went to Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. I did not see that coming. I know there are some people who do think that, yeah, it was, out of all those games, it was the best one. And I mean, enough of the people who vote thought it was. But I had all my money on Resident Evil. I didn't do my prediction. I usually like to do predictions for the Game Awards. I didn't even watch the Game Awards this year. I'll fully admit, a lot of my reactions to this came from the Kind of Funny reaction, which I kind of skimmed through, saw the best of moments, in Twitter. I did not actually watch the Game Awards, because back in like June or July, I bought tickets to go to the theater, and they were on the same nights of the Game Awards. So while the Game Awards was happening, I was watching a musical, and during intermission, I checked my phone to see what had happened. Yeah, I'll admit, I just didn't. And I guess I was all the better for it, because, again, the show was kind of disappointing from what I heard. And yeah, that's everything. I know there was other stuff announced. Godfall, which, God, they called it what was it? A looter hack and slash? Terrible name. The looter shooter is dead. Borderlands 3 kind of sucked. I mean, it does something, like I was talking about earlier. You've got all these games that are just shoving microtransactions, cosmetic shit down your throat, and it's nice to have a game like Borderlands 3 that just, you'll open a chest and get cosmetic stuff. Games like Code Vein that'll let you do that. But yeah, I'm looter slasher, I think that might have been it. Terrible name, but sure. And it's coming to the PS5 and presumably the Xbox Series X. God, we are on the precipice of a new console generation. To think that, you know, usually the year or two before the start of a new console generation suck. Yeah. So maybe next year will suck. You know, next year's gonna suck. I mean, I know the start of the year is amazing. Avengers looks good. We'll see. Cyberpunk 2077 looks good. That's all I've got on the Game Awards, by the way. But yeah, Cyberpunk, Final Fantasy, Avengers, Animal Crossing, New Horizon. Is it New Horizon? I think it's New Horizon. We got more artwork for that game today as well. That's cool. That's 3 months away. There's one or two other things. There's the period from March to May is just every other week. There's like a new game. It's going to be crazy. But I bet after E3, it's going to slow down. The amount of games and whatnot. Because usually the start of a new console, usually the year leading up to, and sometimes even the year of a new console generation, kind of suck. And I don't think it's going to be any different this year. I'm going to, as much as I don't know if I want to, I'm going to switch out the Droopy one more time for this one. But yeah, that's all I've got about the Game Awards. But yeah, next year it's going to be good. I just want the Droopy back. I don't want the other thing. Yeah, we'll see. We shall see next year. It's gonna. God, I'm excited for Animal Crossing, man. I have wanted to play an Animal Crossing game, but Animal Crossing game, like, I don't want to go back. I'm scared to go back to New Leaf. It's one of those games that after, like, if you leave your town abandoned too long, it'll probably become a nightmare. So yeah. Yeah, we still got a bunch. God, I gotta review Pokemon Sword and Shield and Luigi's Mansion 3. Let me get one more egg. Hey, I have actually played a lot in these past 2 months. I mean, plus we're gonna talk about Star Wars and yeah, because Star Wars movie came out yesterday. Yay! It was. Oh God. You know, one of the things that was good about being so exhausted from school, usually, right, we live in the modern world. Most people have anxiety, depression, and insomnia. I have insomnia. And you could argue I have depression and anxiety. But insomnia, definitely, right. But because I've been so just utterly exhausted from school, I have actually been able to get to bed earlier than usual. And, like, because of that, I'm waking up before sunrise now, and so I'm gonna take a pause right here. Let's save real quick. Let's do a saves. And I'm gonna go refill my water, and when we get back, we're talking Amiibo. So I'll be back in a minute. Is that actually on? You would not believe how many times I've turned off that microphone just to forget to turn it back on. Yeah, hey, what's up? God, my hair is a mess. Ugh. Hey, yeah, it's actually me in the flesh. And like I am behind on Amiibo. They are burning a hole in my desk. They've already burned through my wallet. But there was a new set of Amiibo that came out in November and in December. We're going to get to the November set now. And then next year we'll get to the December set. And then there's a January set that we'll get to in February, probably. We're so close to the end. 2 characters and the DLC. Which, we know Joker just started production, so it's only a matter of time. But 3 characters we got for tonight. We got Simon... let me turn off that. We got Simon's Belmont. Yeah, he's cool. We've got Tiger Pokemon. And we've got Chrom. He's Chrom. It's Chrom. Okay, sure. Let's do Simon's Belmont first. So yeah, Simon's Belmont. Again, third-party characters, man. It's always crazy to see third-party characters like this. Like, where else are you going to get a Simon Belmont figure that looks like this? That looks so traditional. God, the Joker. I mean, I know there's Joker figures out there, but one licensed by Nintendo, a Banjo-Kazooie figure. Again, I know they're out there, but God, it's crazy. It is crazy. And with the December set, I actually have an amiibo that I am keeping in the box. I'm an out-of-box collector. That's how I've always ran. The only one I regret opening is the Gold Mario. I probably should have kept the Gold Mario in the box. But other than that, I don't give a shit. Can you? I meant to point this out. Can you see all my Christmas stuff? It's right there. Yeah, I'm getting ready for Christmas. Yep, it's that time of year. Candle nights. Excuse me, that's what I celebrate nowadays. That was tonight, wasn't it? They did the Candle Nights thing in, what was it, Huntington, West Virginia. So let's crack this puppy open. Oh, ooh, that's a bad cut. Ooh, God, I am terrible. Every once in a while I get a clean cut. For the most part, they're bad cuts. They're bad cuts, Brent. Yeah. So yeah, the whip, much like Bayonetta's hair pieces, the whip is always, is something I worry about. It's sturdy enough. It would have been cool if it was like, the arms of the Guardian amiibo and you could, move it around. But no, it's attached right there. This is kind of flexible, and then it's attached back up here. Come on. There we go. Oh God, where am I going to put these boxes? Trash doesn't come for another few days. Yeah. Look at that. Yeah, no, that looks nice. It looks just like... God, Smash has just such a good job at replicating the NES games. And this just... Yeah, God, it looks just like it. These amiibos, well, I hate that they went up in price. Once they did... amiibos have always been quality figures. And especially... God, they look so nice. The price hike just made them look... they've always looked good, but they look so good nowadays. There was, the face... Can you see that? Come on. That's not a bad face at all. That looks pretty decent, all things considered. The shirt and the pants got some good... Right, that's some good detail. Ooh, I almost dropped it. And I know we can complain about the plastic nubbins, right? The plastic. But, it's a small sacrifice. It's never been as bad as, the Wii Fit Trainer. Yeah, that's not bad. That's a nice looking one. Next up, let's do Chrom. Let's just do Chrom. Now, I do have other amiibos other than Smash, obviously. And I do have the Fire Emblem series Chrom. There's a story behind that. I'm convinced one of my local stores got all of the Chroms for the state. I walked in and they had 5 of them. And this was 6 months after Chrom and Tiki had released. They had so many of them. And I don't know where. They might. I would not be surprised if they still had one. Maybe it's just because people know. Because it's nice that people no longer care about amiibo. They're so easy to get. Like that was another. Well, that happened after Wave 6. The Bowser Jr. Well, even starting at Wave 6 with Bowser Jr. and Greninja, Amiibos just became. Nintendo started listening to people, and they started making more. And ever since then, I have never had a problem getting an Amiibo. Before then, it was just a constant pain in my ass. Wave 4 was an absolute nightmare. I mean, it was fun, right? The friends are the people you make along the way. But other than that, the actual, like, getting the Amiibos, nightmares. But after that, it became easy. I've never had to wait out at a store. I can go to Target first thing in the morning, or even just pre-order them all online. I actually got these guys at Best Buy. That's rare for me. Usually I usually just pre-order them at Target, but Target wanted to send me each Amiibo. They wanted to send me to a different store. I don't get it, Target. But yeah, so I just did these guys at Best Buy. It was easier that way. Yeah. Come on, come on. Nope. Just as bad. God, I'm not getting lucky tonight. And I know there's probably, like, if I pushed harder or did it faster, it'd probably go easier. See, like, if you look at, I'll show you it. Ooh. But if you look at the Chrom face and compare it to the Marth face, I don't have Marth with me, but it's night and day, man. The Chrom face just looked so bad. I just got a text. Oh, okay. Yeah, so Chrom. Yeah, look at that. Look. Once it comes into focus, come on. Come on. Come on. It's just refusing to come into focus. There we go. I know it may not look like much, but the Chrom face looks so much better. You look at the old Marth amiibos, and it's so simple. This looks so much better. The detail is overall just, God, the detail is so nice. The amiibo just, after the price hike sucked, but God, the figures definitely, it's not like the price hike was for nothing. Like Pokemon Sword and Shield, where the extra $20 went towards, a rushed game? No, these actually, mean something, man. These are actually pretty good. I could go to sleep right now. I'm tired. My hair is a mess. It usually is a mess, but it's extra bad tonight. It's parted down the middle, not on the side like I normally do it. Yeah, Chrom is nice. It's very simple and not as good as the Belmont one. Yeah, it looks fine. It's Chrom. It's Chrom. Last we got Incineroar. If you can just look and see the fur. I was like, what was that? You can kind of see the fur on it. This one looks like, I don't really care for Incineroar. I never have. It's a fire fighting type in a fire dark type's clothing or whatever. But this figure looks nice. Last time I did the Amiibo unboxing back in September or October, I was very impressed by the Ivysaur Amiibo. There goes the pupper. Oh, Tala. But this one looks like, I was impressed by Ivysaur. I'm also impressed by this. This looks like the fur texture just looks so nice. Like Lucario was very smooth, and I don't like how Lucario looks in Brawl. In Brawl, Lucario had fur, and it just kind of looked off. That's why I like Lucario in Smash 4 and Smash Ultimate, because they made it smooth. But fur can look nice, and fur on this Incineroar looks nice. This is a nice looking Amiibo. Okay, 3 for 3. Hard. Not perfect, but not the worst. I've definitely done worse. Oh, it's... I didn't even... It's got a pull on its back. Okay. Oh, its arm is attached right there. Ooh. Gotta put all my trash in one place. I don't even know where I'm gonna put these boxes. I mean, at least it gets 3 boxes off my desk. What I'm gonna do with the other ones, I don't even know. Yeah. I mean, I think there's like usually there's like a symbol right here that's not here. But other than that, I think this one looks pretty nice. I don't know. I think I like the Ivysaur one more. But yeah, no, and I don't mind the pull in the back at all. I didn't even notice it. So that shows you how much I don't mind it. But yeah, I think this one looks pretty nice. I don't care for Incineroar, but this ain't bad. This ain't bad at all. Yeah, there were some nice amiibo this wave, man. Some good quality looking Mons. Some Migos. Yeah. The foot, is the foot I don't, this foot has a bit of plastic. Alright, we gotta rotate. You can see the plastic on this foot. I don't know if this one's attached or not. No, it isn't. I can kind of bend that a little bit. Huh. I can bend the tail a little bit as well. Yeah. It's a nice looking one. Yeah, that's... Oh, God. I always suck at this. Come on. Come on. Ah, screw it. I'll use 2 hands. That's our 3 amiibo. This is wave like 30 or something. They're nice. They are all nice looking amiibo. The only 2 Smash ones that remain that aren't DLC are Dark Samus and Richter. And then that's it. That is it. And then once the Smash line is done, amiibos are done forever. I don't think we're getting any more. And I will be so glad. I mean, I know they're still re-releasing a few more. Like with Breath of the Wild 2 predictably coming out next year, we're definitely going to get they've already re-released. Like I have the Majora's Mask re-release. I need Twilight Princess and Skyward Sword, and then I have all the Zelda ones. Oh, and Bokoblin, because Bokoblin's stupidly rare for some reason. But yeah, I'm close to having all the Zelda ones. I think the only ones I'll never have is the Fire Emblem ones, just because Tiki is rare, and I don't think they'll ever re-release Almond Celica. And they won't release Tiki. And then I know for most people the hardest amiibo of all of them is still QB, which... God, why did they... When they did Box Boy and Girl, I'm amazed they didn't do a physical release with the amiibo. That still surprises me to this day. But yeah, that's this wave of amiibo. They're nice looking figures. And back to the Pokemons. That was my amiibo hour that I always like to brag about. Kind of. So, with that, I have a cookie. I'm going to eat this cookie. God, see, I'm talking all these strategies for getting this Droopy, and none of them have worked. It's an okay cookie. I have it in a bag. I want to make sugar cookies. My idea was I'm going to make some sugar cookies. And then I'll be like, oh yeah, hey parents, I'll bring sugar cookies for Christmas Eve. And they're going to be a bunch of dicks. I was rewatching the Bam Bam with Cake Boss. I made a cake shaped like a penis for a gay guy's bachelor party with an Asian lady stripper. Pretty funny. So, Bam Bam's really good. We'll talk about Taz here in a minute. So what have I been playing? What have I been playing? Let's see. So for college, I have to read a lot of books. I don't read books, I listen to books. I'm a very big audiobook guy. And so I listen to books for college. And while I listen to books, I usually Unless it's like something really important that I have to take notes for. And usually I can multitask. But I usually like to have a game, like play a game while I listen to a book. Pokemon. Same thing with podcasts. I don't like to just sit there and listen to a podcast. I like to have an audio book on, or a podcast on, and play a video game at the same time. Multitasking. And yeah, but near the end of last year, my number 8 game of the year was Dead Cells. It was on my list after only playing for, I hadn't even beat the game. I had maybe played 15 hours, if that. Now, all this time later, I probably put like another 30 into it, maybe a little more than that. God, that's so close. I have so many Droopies that are so close. Just one stat is off. But yeah, so Dead Cells, right? I put another 20, 30 hours into it while listening to audiobooks for class. And sometimes it's not like a professionally read audiobook. So on the rare occasion it will be. But for the most part, it's like a text-to-speech audiobook, which I've just gotten used to. Usually pumped up to like 2-3 times speed. It's the art of the trade, how the sausage gets made. But I got back into Dead Cells. I finally beat the game. And then the next run I beat the game. And then I did a failed run. And then the next run I beat the game. I've beat the game like 10 times at this point. I know there's definitely like secret endings, and there's other stuff there's tons of stuff I haven't unlocked, and tons of stuff I haven't seen yet. There's still some things I don't understand that I should probably Google, but I haven't. I've Googled one thing so far. Actually, no, I've Googled 2 things. I don't remember what the first thing I Googled was. The second thing I Googled was the Rose Key. I had found 2 of the Rose Keys, and I could not find the third one, and it was annoying me so much that I just Googled where the third Rose Key was. I wasn't just paying attention to where, like, I didn't even know that was possible. God, Dead Cells was good. Dead Cells, if I had played it more last year, instead of picking it up, I picked it up because of a Game Awards sale. If it wasn't for that, it probably would have been closer to my number 1 spot. It probably would have been like top 5. It was so good. So good. Yeah. Dead Cells was great. I highly recommend it. And similar roguelikes. So earlier this year, during E3, Xbox did a sale for like, hey, for $1 you get a month of Game Pass. I did that. And during that, I played Slay the Spire. Slay the Spire is a game I took interest from Mark Brown's video. Go watch that. He could make you more interested in the game than I ever could. But it was a really interesting video. And so I tried it out because of Game Pass, and I really enjoyed it. And I said if it ever went on sale, I'd buy Slay the Spire. It went on sale finally, so I bought Slay the Spire. It went on sale for like Black Friday or whatever. I bought Slay the Spire, and I've probably put like 10 hours into it so far on Switch. I was mostly busy with finals the past week or two, but I've loved it. Dead Cells is Slay the Spire is really great. I have had some runs as is it the assassin, the one who uses poison and daggers, that I was amazed by. It was the craziest thing. Like, I had a synergy set up that I was amazed by. It went so well. I mean, eventually I lost. I think I lost to like the second area boss. But it was, oh god, I've had some amazing runs. I love the game. I love the game so much. It's great. But yeah, in that, there's others. I guess let's talk about Luigi's Mansion 3. So I picked up Luigi's Mansion 3. I was on the fence about picking it up. I picked it up like like 2 weeks after it came out. It was still on sale at Walmart. Walmart does a thing where they sell games for $10 cheaper than you get them anywhere else. I don't know why. I know Amazon kind of does something similar-ish. And so I picked it up at Walmart. And it took me a few days to beat. I haven't done the Scare Scraper stuff. I haven't done the multiplayer mode thingy. But I enjoyed Luigi's Mansion 3. I really did. It's a lot. See, I never really... There are certain details about Luigi's Mansion. Like, some people are like, oh, for a Luigi's Mansion game, you need a portrait ghost. You didn't. I like Dark Moon a lot. I love the original Luigi's Mansion. I play one of the two every year, except for this year because I played Luigi's Mansion 3 instead. I started the first Luigi's Mansion, played up until, like, the baby, and then I put it down and just waited until I bought Luigi's Mansion 3. But I play one of the games every year, and Luigi's Mansion 3 was great. The ending does kind of slow down. Spoiler alert, the final boss, Helen Gravely and King Boo, spoiler alert, oh my god, the woman you meet in the first few minutes who says she's evil and who set King Boo free is one of the final bosses, along with King Boo, who's been the final boss of the previous two Luigi's Mansion games. Sucked. The King Boo fight is just straight up terrible, like it's super generic and super lazy. Did not mean to click on that. Super disappointing. The Helen Gravely fight, like, it has some cool ideas, sending Luigi's Mansion in the sewer. Sending Gooigi, I mean, to turn off the laser beams. But the overall fight kind of sucked. Okay, so that Droopy sucks. Close, but no cigar. Again, close, but no cigar. I gotta start putting these in another box. Let's put them here for now. Nope. God, it's like Duraldon. It's taken more than one box. I bet if I had left it where I had, it probably would have done it by now. That's just the art of the trade, how the sausage gets made, you know. But yeah, that was disappointing. Some of the stage themes were disappointing. There's a dance hall one that is just kind of underwhelming. Like, you walk down a hallway, you fight the boss ghost, and that's it. You leave. Like, and some of them can get away with that. The museum was really... It was also really short like that. It was like a hallway, and then you fight the final boss. Or then you fight the boss of the area to get... Right. But that was... It was super fun. The boss of the museum is a T-Rex. It was great. That was great. But there were some areas that I liked more than others. I liked the plant one was pretty good. I liked the movie studio. The movie studio was a lot of fun, especially the ending where you recreate a Godzilla movie. That was actually a lot of fun. The movie studio, I know some people didn't like because it was confusing, but it was a good, solid puzzle area. The one of the big problems with Luigi's Mansion 3 is that it's bad at explaining things. You'll walk into a room and then be expected to use a mechanic that the game never explained. Or that, right, like, in the movie studio, you have to look into the cameras. The game never tells you that until you ask for Egon for, like, a hint or whatever. Or eventually Egon will yell at you or something, but you don't know to do that. And so the game is bad at explaining things. And another problem is there's a hint system with EGAD. Okay, I'm fine with hint systems if they're optional. I'd rather have I'd rather have a Fi that shuts up than nothing at all. The problem is every time I was stuck in an area and had no idea where to go, I'd call EGAD for a hint and he'd tell me nothing. EGAD was useless a majority of the game. The hint system sucks. That's a genuine problem with the game, in my opinion. Yeah, the ending kind of sucks. There's these moments where you fight the Polter... So there's a Polterpup, and the Polterpup in Dark Moon is a lot of fun. I love the design. I love that he's back in this game. And there's a Poltercat in this game. which I think is really clever. Like, I like the idea of the Poltercat. I think it's a good design. And you fight it twice, but, like, you beat a level, and then you get the elevator button, and then the cat steals the elevator button. You have to chase around the cat, which I'm fine with, but then the cat usually, right before you kill it, it runs to another floor. So then you have to like, stop all your momentum again, which technically the cat stops it once. So you have to stop it again and go down a floor to go chase the cat on, like, you go, like, the cat interrupts you at the movie studio, you fight it in the movie studio, and then it goes down below a floor, which is like the botany floor, the garden, and then you have to fight it there. And that happens, it only happens 2 times, so it's not that bad, and it's not that prevalent. But that is kind of a problem, you know? Another thing, money. Money has no purpose in the game. Dark Moon had, like, an upgrade system, where the more money you got, it gave you, like, better stuff, right? You were able to upgrade your vacuum, and there was one other thing you upgraded. The more, right, money did something. In this game, money makes you... money allows you to buy, like, revives. There's not a life system, but, like, if you run out of life, there's life, right? So you have 100 life, and then the low life sound, super annoying. Super annoying low life sound. I don't think it's as bad as people are making it out to be, but it's bad. But if you get to low life, if you die, if you have a bone, it'll just bring you back right there. If you don't have the bone, you basically just have to do the room over again. It's very simple. It's not like freaking Mega Man 11 where it's just bullshit. It's fine. But I wish the money did upgrades. And it also affects the ending. Depending on how much money you got, changes the ending. That's how the first game worked. And I'm fine with it. Like, it's not that big of a deal. So close. Why are some of these are so freaking close? But overall, it's a great game. I really enjoyed it. I was having a great time with it. It's one of the best looking games on Switch. It's stylized, but it uses its stylization to its full advantage. Luigi is, like, Mario is such a boring, nothing character. Honestly, the most personality Mario has had this decade comes from Luigi's Mansion 3. Even more than he had in his own game. I mean... Yeah, no, I'd argue Mario has more personality in Luigi's Mansion 3 than he does in Mario Odyssey. That's a hot take for you. Yeah, I enjoyed it. If you're interested, if you're at all interested, it's worth your time. Next up, Shovel Knight, King of Cards. I have not beaten this game yet. I'm at the 3rd world, and I'm still working on it. It probably came out like 2 weeks ago now, but again, I've been busy. Maybe it came out last week. I don't remember anymore. I've been busy, especially because I've been putting more of my time into Pokemon. Shovel Knight is one of my favorite games of all time. Easily. I love it so much, and King of Cards is the final expansion, plus they also added Showdown. So excited for this, and I'm only 2 worlds in. So far, I haven't really enjoyed it. It's good. There are tons of good things in it. But so far, I'm just not liking it as much. I'll have more to say at the end of the year. Beginning of next year, actually, because I probably won't stream the rest of this year. But yeah, I'm still enjoying it, but just not as much. One of the factors is I don't like Joustus. I am bad. Like, I like Slay the Spire, but other than Slay the Spire, I really suck at card games. And, it's no exception here. I suck at Joustus. So that's probably holding back some of the enjoyment for me. It's completely optional, which is a clever thing to do. And there have been some good moments, but I think there's also been some weird design decisions that I don't know how I feel about. It's definitely one of those things where I'll beat the game probably before the end of the year. Definitely before the end of the year. And then I'll replay it early next year. And then on that second playthrough, I'll really enjoy it. Like the first Shovel Knight. Like Shovel of Hope. First time I played Shovel Knight, I was like, oh, that's okay. Right? That was fine. But then when I played it for the second time, I loved it. I fell in love with Shovel Knight the second playthrough. Just because I knew what I was in for then. And like I was able to fully love the game. So that'll probably be what happens with King of Cards. But so far, I mean, it's still really good. It's just not as good as the previous 3 campaigns. Baba Is You. Again, this goes back to Mark Brown. Hey, what's up, Aries? How you doing? So, Mark Brown is like a big influence on me with gaming and whatnot. And months ago, probably back in June, a lot of people were talking about a game called Baba Is You. A puzzle game. I like my occasional puzzle game. I like Zachtronic. The Zachtronic games. Opus Magnum, Infinifactory, Space Chem. I like those games. So I'm down for a puzzle game. And a lot of people were telling me how good Baba Is You is. And I was like, okay, it went on sale, so I bought it. And then I didn't play it. And then Mark Brown did a video, and I watched the first, 2 minutes of the video, and I was like, oh, I'm going to love this game. So I stopped watching that video and started watching the Mark Brown video and started playing the game. I'm very, very early on into the game, and it's kicking my ass. There it is. There's our perfect Droopy. Took us long enough. What do I do with all of these eggs? Oh my god, that took forever. So let's hatch these 3 eggs and figure out what to do with the others. But yeah, I started playing Baba Is You. I'm still early on. I've only been playing it for a few days, but it's good. It's really good. It's kicking my ass, man. There are some puzzles, usually the puzzles you need to unlock the dandelion, I can do, but once you get past that, it just kicks I can't do it. I mean, some of them I've been able to figure out, but some of them I'm still just scratching my head. So let's put this one in here. And let's put you back with all your other dittos. And let's hatch all 3 of these eggs, and yeah. But yeah, I've been enjoying Baba Is You. I really have. It's really well done. I haven't beat it yet, but I'm working on it. What else have I been doing? I've been... Oh god, I've got to start IV training now. So the Adventure Zone, I think last time I talked about how I got all caught up on the Adventure Zone. I finished off Amnesty, and yeah, I wasn't very hot on Amnesty at the beginning. By the last 2 arcs, I really got into it, and it was really good. Graduation is definitely starting off on a stronger note. It has its weaker moments, but overall, Graduation has been really good. I am really enjoying it, and I'm excited to see where it goes from here. I'm admittedly, I know we're up to episode 4. Oh, and they did a Dadlands episode. So I've watched Dimension 20. I've watched the high school one. It's fine. The high school one it's a starting point. It shows that there's still room to grow, but it has potential. And Brendan Mulligan's a good DM. He's still... They're inexperienced players, but it shows potential. But Dadlands was fantastic. It was a great Adventure Zone thing. If you've never listened to the Adventure Zones, you could probably listen to Dadlands. It was one of the more recent ones. I'd recommend starting at the very beginning, or or reading There Be Gerblins as a graphic novel, and then starting at Lunar Escaped or whatever the next Murder on the Rockport Limited, because I do not, I still stand by that. There Be Gerblins is not that good, but Murder on the Rockport Limited's good. Pedal to the Metal is great, and then it just keeps getting better from there. Yeah, so far I'm enjoying Graduation. I'm enjoying the new characters. I only remember Bud, the Fearbold, who doesn't have a name, which is great. Justin always has the best characters. What else? There's Fitzroy Maplethorpe, which is Griffin's character, and Archibald. Is that the last one? I don't know. I'm enjoying it so far. It's got a lot of potential. I've got something caught in the back of my throat. Yeah. We did Amiibo. Before I talk about Pokemon, I want to talk about Rise of the Skywalker. This movie came out yesterday, kind of 2 days ago. They started doing midnight screenings on Thursday, or like 4 o'clock screenings is where, like, that was the earliest, where like Thursday at 4 o'clock. And I did see it. I saw it on Thursday. So I want to talk about spoilers because I have thoughts about that movie. So I'm going to put up the spoilers thing right here in the corner. If you care about spoilers, if you have not seen The Last Jedi, there's your spoiler tag right there. I'm giving you this warning right now. Spoilers for The Last Jedi. Let's just throw these Droopy in the box. That one's not bad. That one's not... Again, these are a lot of fine Droopies. Oh yeah, did I talk about my trash box? These are where I put all my repeats. Trash. Actually, I said I was going to put these with the Phalanx. I might as well. I'll figure out a place for them later. It's mostly dealing with all these Raltses that I don't need. Let's release some Raltses, shall we? This is going to take a while. So, Star Wars. Grew up on Star Wars. Technically, I'm of the generation that grew up with the prequel trilogy, and that has nostalgia for the prequel trilogy. I see this in my brothers who think Episode 3 and Episode 1 are the best Star Wars movie. Part of me thinks that's the Gen Z post-ironic, post-identity humor. Part of me thinks they are kind of being serious, or they don't know they're being, like, right, they don't know because it's post-identity. But yeah, I don't care. I do not like the prequels. They are terrible. I loved the first 2 movies, but I have a love-hate relationship with Return of the Jedi. I think it's good, but I admit it has problems. Then the prequels all suck. Revenge of the Sith is the best one, but it's not great. Not even good. I don't even know if it's meh. Like, the prequels all suck. Then you get the Disney trilogy, the sequels. The Force Awakens, I think, is fine. It's good. I might enjoy it better than Return of the Jedi. I might not. I'm still not entirely sure. I have, again, my relationship with those 2 movies are kind of complicated and they're kind of close. The Last Jedi is surrounded by a myriad of controversies, but I love it. It is the best movie, Star Wars movie since Empire. It did the most interesting things. I love Last Jedi. It's fantastic. It's my 3rd favorite Star Wars movie, right behind Empire at number 1 and New Hope at number 2. Love The Last Jedi. Going into Rise of the Skywalker, my hopes were not high, but sometimes that's fine. The Last Jedi, I said this immediately after I got out of it. I am so tired of seeing them remake the same Star Wars movie. They have done A New Hope 4 times now. New Hope, Return of the Jedi was just A New Hope again with some slight changes. Force Awakens was just A New Hope again, really without the change, with different changes, yes, but still really without any changes. Rise of the Skywalker is just A New Hope again, but it's not A New Hope. It's Return of the Jedi's version of A New Hope. Again, we did Return of the Jedi again. It's going back to what's safe, what was safe for Star Wars movies. And it spits in the face of The Last Jedi. It's like the movie admitting that, yes, we know you didn't like The Last Jedi, so screw The Last Jedi, this isn't The Last Jedi. It's terrible. It's not as bad as the prequels. It's better than the prequels, easily, but I did not like The Last Jedi. That one has 4 good IVs. Huh. Well, too bad, it's gone now. I do not like The Last Jedi at all. Or I do not like The Rise of the Skywalker. I love The Last Jedi. God, that's going to get taken out of context. Not like anybody watches this. I do not like The Rise of the Skywalker. I don't hate it. I do not hate it. But God, I was just so... everything interesting The Last Jedi did. And, even though I say spoilers, there's some details I'm not going to go into here. Well, okay, there are some I am. Screw it all. Full spoiler. But god damn it, it's just so fucking disappointing. I'm so tired of just seeing the same movies. That's what The Last Jedi is so good at. Yes, is it doing stuff from Empire? Yes, but it's also twisting it. It's doing new and interesting ways of doing that. Whereas The Force Awakens and Rise of the Skywalker are just A New Hope. There is no twist. It's just the same movie. The big one is that The Last Jedi set up that Rey's parents were nobodies. I really like that. Because that was Anakin. Anakin was a nobody. And I know we can talk about the problems with the prequels all day long. But I'm fine with Rey being a nobody, someone who comes from just the Force, right? The Force's attempt to counterbalance against Kylo Ren being on the dark side. I like that. But no, we find out in this movie, spoilers one final time, Rey is the granddaughter of Palpatine. That's some bullshit. That's so boring and uninteresting, man. There was so much potential here. Well, okay, I'll be honest. I'm not saying there was complete potential here, but just she didn't have to be that. She didn't have to be Palpatine's granddaughter. I mean, I think you could have gotten away with more if you had just said she was Palpatine, created a gender swap clone of himself that he wanted to take over the Empire. Palpatine is, so the trailers built it up as if Palpatine was a Force ghost. I like the idea of Force ghosts in Star Wars, but it's oh, Palpatine's going to be a Force ghost, Obi-Wan Kenobi and Yoda were. No, he's, still alive, and there's this whole thing about how the Sith don't die and instead are, clones or whatever. And it's one soul that gets passed down to every Sith. It's stupid. It's stupid and I hate it. God, And this movie is crazy. It starts off crazy, and then it just never slows down. There are things I like. There's this MacGuffin that's this map to Eresh Kigul, which Eresh Kigul is the planet of the Sith. And it's okay, where would the map be? They find out the map is on the destroyed Death Star from Return of the Jedi. I think that actually really works. It's really cool to see them do Return of the Jedi. Well, I think the beginning of the movie is kind of and the end of the movie is definitely pretty bad. I mean, there's its moments. I do like the final scene where she goes back to Tatooine and buries the lightsaber. I think really works. And I know some people will complain about her being taking the name Skywalker and say, oh, she should have reclaimed the name Palpatine. You're technically right. But I'm actually fine with how it ended and she gets the name Skywalker. I think that works. But god damn it, I was so disappointed. It was just so many... The Last Jedi did so many interesting things, and this movie just undid all of them. Patrick H. Willems pointed out that The Last Jedi is the first Star Wars movie that felt like we could move beyond Skywalker. That Star Wars could move beyond the Skywalker bloodline, the Force, the Jedis and the Sith, and do new and interesting things. And then this movie came in and undid all of that. It's all about bloodlines again, and that's so boring and uninteresting. God, it's just such a disappointment. And I knew it. I knew it was going in, and you may say, "Oh, you should have tempered your expectations." My expectations were low to begin with. Fuck off. It's a bad... And I know people who hated The Last Jedi are going to love this. I know people... If you liked Force Awakens and didn't like Last Jedi, you're going to like this. If you don't care, you're going to like this. If you hated both Force Awakens and Last Jedi, you're going to hate this. You probably hate everything, and you will never be satisfied. I'm sorry I'm the one who has to tell you this. There's tons of other things that happen in this movie that I just... God. God. There are scenes that work. Han Solo comes back as maybe a Force ghost, maybe just a memory. They don't really say, and I thought that scene really worked. Hey, look, it's my Joy-Con. You know, everyone always talks about Joy-Cons drifting to, like, the left or the right. My Joy-Cons drift up. It's mostly from running in Minecraft, where you have to double tap up to run. Yeah, my Joy-Cons run up. So here's our Droopy. Yeah, I think we have to give it... What IVs do it need? Doesn't need. It needs... I don't even... I'm so tired. I'm ready to call it, honestly. If we still didn't have so much to talk about. It needs special attack, speed. I think every Pokemon I have competitively trained so far has needed speed IVs. It's bad. Special attack I know where to get, luckily. God, I hate keeping track of the math here. Let's save. Let's not screw this up. Luckily I picked Squirt. Let's hope this works. So different IVs get from different Pokemon. The easiest way to do... So the video I watched that taught IVs says go to Glimwood Tangle. And you can use Poltegeist or Sinistea, Impidimp and its evolution, and Indeedee for special attack IVs. And that works, but I think there's an easier way to do it. Come over to this route, and then go down to Route 8, because both Snom and Vanillux get special attack IVs. And, well, you have to deal with Sneasel and the other Pokemon, I don't remember. Thwack, I think. Throw is here, one of them. Thwack or Throw. And there's, like, one other thing. Snorunt. You can unlike where it's random encounters in the Glimwood Tangle, here these things actually just appear in the wild. It's so much easier. Just breed special attack IVs here. Snom and Vanillux. So yes, genocide the Snom. But yeah, Last Jedi was just, like, I don't hate it. I think it's better than all the prequels, but it's definitely weaker than every other Star Wars movie. Someone said that it's a movie that attempted to appeal to everybody, and because of that, it appeals to nobody. That's pretty accurate. I think that's a good way of looking at it. Okay, yeah. Just such a God, I like, my expectations were low, but because J.J. Abrams cannot end a story. And he cannot. And I mean, a lot of people saying, hey, this is comparable to Star Trek Into Darkness. I don't think it's as bad as Star Trek Into Darkness. I don't really remember Star Trek Into Darkness. But I don't think it's that bad, but it's still pretty bad. I don't know, man. There are moments I really like in this movie. And there are things that just drop the ball. Like, I like them going back to the Death Star. But then Rey goes in to get the MacGuffin. And inside the MacGuffin room, there's she finds a dark version of herself mirroring the cave scene from Empire. And it's over as quickly as it started. Just, what? What? I don't know what to do with that. I do not know what to do with that. Who cares about that? Hey, what's up? Just doing some IV training and talking about Star Wars. You need any followers or views? I mean, don't we all? Ha 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 ha. I don't stream enough. That's all I could probably go on to Star Wars forever, but I'm not. Let's just call it there. Let's just call it there. So anything else I gotta talk about? We did that. Yeah, that's all. So that's what I've been doing the past like 2 months. It's mostly just been schoolwork. Schoolwork and Dead Cells. Yeah, I mean, Pokemon was out by the time I was finishing up school. God, this game's almost a month old. I think it came out. I'm good. I'm good, random stranger. Have a day. Nope, I'm good. Have a day. Alright, let's see. Playtonic came out and admitted there was this rumor going around that Playtonic was working on a Banjo-Kazooie game. Playtonic came out and admitted that no, that is not true. They are not working on a Banjo-Kazooie game. And no, they are not. There was a rumor that they were going to be purchased by Microsoft. They are not being purchased by Microsoft. So yeah, that's not happening. Okay. I mean, if you played, so I'll admit, whatever it was sucked. Yooka-Laylee sucked. Like, it was, like, it had some good moments, but for the most part, it was not Banjo-Kazooie. The best quote out there is that Yooka-Laylee is a medium game. Because it's not bad, but it's definitely not rare. You know? I think that's a great way to describe it. And yeah, that's Yooka-Laylee. But Yooka-Laylee in the Impossible Lair, so if Yooka-Laylee was their take on Banjo-Kazooie, and especially Banjo-Tooie, Yooka-Laylee in the Impossible Lair is their take on Donkey Kong Country. And from what I hear, it's great. They actually managed to capture the spirit of Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong Country, Donkey Kong Country Returns, Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, which Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze is amazing. As a fan of platformers, I should probably play it, but I kind of don't want to, like, at the moment. If it ever goes on, most of my Switch library is games I bought on sale. So if it ever goes on sale, I'll definitely pick it up. But for the moment, at the price it's at, nah, I'm good. I'm only barely paying attention to the game right now. And watch, I encounter a shiny, and then I kill it because I'm not paying enough attention. That's totally something I would do in a stream like this. So yeah, that happened. Terry got into Smash. We knew about Terry from the September Direct, but they did the full Direct reveal. Yeah, it's cool. He kind of works like Ryu and Ken. He's got this go mechanic. His stage has walls, but if you hit a person hard enough, they'll break through the walls. His stage is one of my favorites. Honestly, it's such a cool idea for a stage. Kind of like Balloon Fight, where I was like, a stage that allows you to go from one edge to the other is kind of cool. It's such a great idea. I love his stage. It's a great one. There was no... So, I talked... When Terry got revealed, one of the things I talked about was the only thing I know about SNK, and not for good reasons, was My Share Nui. I was disappointed My Share Nui. So Terry's stage is filled with all these characters in the background. My Share Nui is not one of them. She's basically the only big SNK character that didn't make it in. And that kind of sucked. We did get some good memes out of it, though. Really funny memes. But I'm kind of disappointed she wasn't there. So, like, there are... In Sakurai said the reason why she isn't there is because Smash is a game for good boys and girls. That's kind of a dumb excuse, and we know it's all an excuse. What's really happening is that the Japanese censor board, instead of looking at violence, looks at sexuality. That's like the American censor board, or the American, not censor board, ratings board. The American ratings board cares about violence. That's how a game gets placed its rating. The Japanese censor board looks at sexuality. And that's why My Share Nui couldn't make it in. Some, like Mythra. If you look at the Mythra spirit in Smash Ultimate, it's a censored costume. The boob window is censored. And that's kind of... And someone was like, hey, what if you just put, like a black outfit over My Share Nui? And honestly, I think that looks fine. Hey, what's up? How you doing? I think that would look fine. Honestly, other than that, there's the King of Fire. We got some spirits, we got some costumes. We still don't know who DLC Character 5 is. People expected it at the Game Awards. I expected it at the Game Awards. That didn't happen. So we'll probably get it. I'm expecting a January Direct very early on in the year. Like it's going to be very early. Probably, anyways. I mean, this year, there's usually a Direct every January. This year, I think it was in February, though. Was that this year or was that last year? Where the January Direct was in February. I don't remember anymore. But we'll get one soon. And it's going to have some big things. It's going to have a big blow. It's going to get us our final Smash character. I know the thing about Smash being for good boys and girls kind of disrupts my hope that a Doom guy will make it in. It's still a complete possibility in my mind. I'm also kind of just giving up hope and kind of hope Sora gets in. Not because I want Sora, I don't. But I know people do want Sora. And, if they put him in, they might as well. Like, I played the first Kingdom Hearts game. I liked the first Kingdom Hearts game. If Sora makes it in, sure. Sure, I'm fine with that. And that's mostly because of apathy. I just don't care anymore. And God, leaks. Can we stop? There's this thing that, why do people listen to 4chan leaks? They're never real. This is the thing with that, though, is, well, yes, 4chan leaks aren't real. Every real leak I have ever seen has come from 4chan. And there was a lot of leaks about what was going to the Game Awards, and most of them were bullshit. As nothing happened. I mean, some of them could still be real, but the Game Awards, it was a mess. It was a mess around the Smash character. But yeah, Terry's in and he looks fun. He looks fun to play. Not my style of character, but if I do ever buy the DLC, which I will at some point, I gotta buy Smash Online or Nintendo Switch Online again first, because I gotta find a way to get an Inteleon, because I don't know how I'm going to do that otherwise. Yeah, Animal Crossing Pocket Camp got a subscription. So Mario Kart whatever has a subscription service in it. Mario Kart Tour, I think that's what it's called. It's bullshit. Like, it's not... it's probably worse than Fallout. It's a stupid mobile game. Yeah, it's probably on equal level. But Animal Crossing Pocket Camp, which Nintendo doesn't put any of their, the bullshit, greedy microtransaction loot boxes in their mainline games. I love that. You could easily put microtransactions in this Pokemon game. You could easily put microtransactions in Smash and Splatoon. They don't. I will always praise Nintendo for that. However, mobile games are a different story. They don't give a shit. And Animal Crossing Pocket Camp has loot boxes and a subscription service. It's terrible. It's terrible. Oh my god, fuck that game. I'm so glad I stopped playing. And I haven't even picked up. I know my father loves Mario Kart, and I know he has Mario Kart Tour. I haven't even picked it up. I don't care. Is that the squirrel? Oh, that was a weird sound. think that's the squirrel. Yeah, that's gotta be the squirrel. Huh. Yeah. Mario Maker 2 got an update? Finally. This, I wonder what happened, because I have heard rumors. Okay, I've listened to Kinda Funny shows talk about rumors that, as far as Nintendo's concerned, Mario Maker 2 has underperformed. That kind of sucks. It's a great game. And the user-created levels online are better than ever now. Like, people know what they're doing now, and we keep getting tons of great levels. Mario Maker 1, the online levels, like, if you knew where to look, there was some good stuff, but it was mostly a mixed bag. Overall, it's a lot better this time. But finally, so in October, they dropped the update that allowed you to play with your friends. Nintendo Switch Online still sucks, so it kind of sucks, but they at least dropped the update. Right. But I feel like, but it wasn't in a Nintendo Direct. There was no fan service for it. They just dropped the update, and that's kind of a problem. Here, this time, they just kind of... Again, there was just an announcement on Twitter, hey, we're working on the Mario Maker 2 update releases like December 5th or whatever. And it adds some great stuff, but it would have been really cool to see in like a Nintendo Direct. It added Pokies, which, okay, that's a fun enemy. It added Spikes, which I see a lot of potential in. I haven't gone back to Mario Maker 2. I'll admit, I have not played the update yet. I don't have a Nintendo Switch Online, but Spike, I see a lot of potential in. There's a lot of interesting ideas in that. They added P block, which is a block that activates with the P switch. It's kind of like coins, but not as good. I'm disappointed this wasn't the Switch Palace ideas. Like, if they didn't add in a 4-color block that worked like the Switch Palace, where there was one button, you press the button, and the switch stays on, and the blocks change from transparent to full for the rest of the level. That's it. That's all it did. There was no way to, it didn't switch them. It just turned transparent to full for the level. That would have been so cool, but instead we got this weird P-block thing that I don't think is nearly as interesting. I mean, it's cool that it's there, but the big change was the Master Sword. This is, for the moment, this and Link's Awakening are the closest we're getting to a Zelda Maker. I still hope we get a Zelda Maker one of these days. But yeah, it was kind of, I kind of do not, there's a lot of cool stuff here, and I already see potential for it. But when I put down Mario Maker 2 in August, after playing it for a solid 2 months, I just never picked it up again. I enjoyed my time with it. I played tons of great levels, made tons of levels. We could argue about how good they are all day, but I definitely was interested in the game. God, that's a lot of sneezels. See, the one problem with doing this is that you have to put up with the sneezels, but at least you actually, when you see a Snom in the grass, or a Vanillux, you can actually fight that Snom or Vanillux. But yeah, that's the Mario Maker 2 update. Overall, it's a good update. This should have come sooner, though. This should have been in the September Direct and have released in October. I feel like the game, one of the reasons the original Mario Maker was so great is that it was getting an update like this every few months. This time it took over 6 to get this one out. That's kind of killing momentum. And as part of that thing where Mario Maker underperformed, part of Nintendo's belief is that it underperformed because of lack of updates. Which, I mean, fair enough. I'm still expecting them sometime next year, whether it be in a January Direct or at E3, to announce the extra game mode. Because the game says that it has extra game modes, but there's only one. A lot of people expect Super Mario Bros. 2. My money is on a galaxy theme that allows you to experiment with gravity, kind of like the 2D sections in Odyssey. Think of stuff like that. I think that would be really fun. I might be alone on that, I don't know. I know I'm not, but I think that would be really cool, and that's way more interesting than Super Mario Bros. 2, which I think would be kind of boring. Yeah. There was a State of Play. The State of Plays are getting better. I still don't think they're great. This one had a few things early on, but nothing really special. And then its big announcement was Resident Evil 3 remake. So they did the Resident Evil 2 remake this year, and next year they're doing a Resident Evil 3 remake. I guess they were originally supposed to be one game, but then due to development, like back sets and whatnot, they had to be split into two. Okay, that makes sense. If Resident Evil 2 Remake was praised highly, I expected it to win Game of the Year at the Game Awards. So yeah, of course this is probably going to be great. The problem with this would have been a really cool reveal. It got leaked about a week ahead of time on the PlayStation Store. That sucks. I think people would have been more excited for the State of Play if that hadn't been leaked. The other thing is we got at the very end, they did their one more reveal thing, but they just showed a 10-second trailer for Ghost of Tsushima and said that, hey, we'll show a little bit more at the Game Awards. And I'm assuming they did, but I didn't watch the Game Awards. I just read it on Twitter, so who knows. They probably did. I know people are excited for this game. It's Sucker Punch. Sucker Punch did Infamous, and I like Infamous. They did all three, and I've played all three Infamous games at some point or another. Did I play Second Son? I know I played the first two Infamous games, and I really like those. Yeah, so I don't know. I was kind of down on Ghost of Tsushima at E3 a few years ago. Maybe last year. Yeah, I think it was last year. I don't know. And then we got it the same day. So this was in the week leading up to the Game Awards. That same day, Nintendo announced, like, the day, so this happened on, like, a Tuesday. On Monday, Nintendo announced that, hey, like, 3 hours after State of Play, they didn't say that, obviously, but it was at, like, 11, and State of Play was at, like, State of Play was at 6. 6 in the freaking morning, or maybe it was 7. It was stupid early, anyways. And then Nintendo announced that, like, around, like, 11, maybe it was, I don't remember, time zones are stupid. They announced that, hey, we're doing a Nindies showcase. And then it's, whether that shows that PlayStation shows are bad or Nintendo shows are good, the Nindies showcase was better than the State of Play. It just was. Maybe it's because the Indie showcases appeal to, like, there's a game in there for everyone. For me, I've talked about this earlier in the year, that I played Golf Story this year, and Golf Story is one of my favorite games I played this year. I know it came out... Okay, so I haven't... Did I put the wrong band on? Oh, fuck. I fucked up this Pokemon bad. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. I put the defense band on when I meant to put... Oh, God. Let's see how far back that resets me. Oh god, I fucked that up. Holy shit, I'm tired. I fucked that up completely. My god. I didn't even notice, because usually I don't check. I fought the 28 Snoms, and I was like, oh, I'm good. Have I... This is why you save. Do I want it to have... I think I want it to have... I didn't even think about ability. Oh, I want the other ability. Shit. There's an ability capsule I can use. Okay, let's change that held item. Oops. Held item. Open my bag. So I want it to have special attack. So I fucked up. We're gonna end it here. I'm clearly exhausted. It's this one. Okay, so we've got attack, defense, special defense, speed, and HP, yeah. And also, make sure to turn off auto-saving. Yeah, we'll continue this later. I'm tired. I'm clearly tired. We only got one. So yeah, my big takeaway from the Indies Direct was Sports Story. Sports Story is a sequel to Golf Story. Golf Story is amazing, and Sports Story looks amazing. It's like, I don't even care for golf games, but Golf Story just was so fun and had such amazing writing, and taking on all these new sports looks really interesting. This game's going to be great. There were tons of other stuff. That's the only thing I have written down here that I wrote down like 10 minutes before I started doing the show. But it's going to be great. It's going to be great. And yeah, it was good. The last thing I have is a few days ago they announced Luigi's Mansion DLC. It's $10 and it gets you 2 packs, one which will be released before April before like April 30th, and one which will be released before the end of the year. It adds 3 new mini games to one of the modes, like Scarescraper. Not the Scarescraper, but like the local multiplayer mode. And it adds 3 new costumes, like a disco costume, a knight costume, and a mummy costume. That's the first pack. It's only $5, but you can get, at least as far from what I understand, it's only $5, but there's 2 packs and you can buy it for a total of $10. I don't think that's great pricing. Maybe the second pack will be a little better. It'll probably just be more of the same. But yeah, and that's Luigi's Mansion DLC. We got through all 59 items. I had a lot to talk about tonight. But yeah, that was interesting. Really, really interesting. Hey, it's just past midnight. Well, at least that's what my Switch says. I don't actually know if that's the time. And yeah, that's all I've got. We'll probably continue more. I won't stream next week. I think the next time I stream will be... So I won't stream on the 28th. We've got Christmas coming up in a few days. I'll probably be back either the 3rd or the 4th of January 2020, where I will be doing my Game of the Year. Currently, I'm not going to give anything away, but currently I have a list of 14 games that could be Game of the Year. I will whittle that down to 10. And that doesn't include Pokemon Sword and Shield, which will be on that list. Or Baba Is You, which will also probably be on that list. I don't know about King of Cards yet. I don't know about that one. Yeah. But yeah, I'll be doing my Game of the Year, and I'll also probably be doing some Game of the Decade stuff, along with my favorite YouTubers I learned existed in 2019. There might also be news, I don't know. And yeah, that's all. That's what we'll be unboxing Amiibo. We'll be doing the Shovel Knight Amiibo. I've got Plague Knight, Spectre Knight, and King Knight, so we'll be unboxing those as well. But yeah, Slay the Spire will be on that list, definitely. I don't want to close that out. But yeah, this stream went on for almost 3 hours. But hey, I got everything. I didn't know if I was... after talking about Star Wars, I almost considered ending it. But we kept going, and we got to everything. Yeah, it's good to be back. Once school starts up again in January, it's going to start kicking my ass so hard. I don't know how this is going to go. But I'm going to try. I am going to try. The year of Metroid started off so strong, and then just absolutely fell apart in the second half of the year. But hey, we did Super Metroid, and that's what matters. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed. See you January 4th, or January 3rd or 4th, probably the 3rd. Until next time, peace.